Hello, friends. Welcome to Story Behind Podcast. This is the show for people who love hearing a good story and who believe the world could use more positivity. We're the team behind GodUpdates and GodTube, and we hope these weekly short stories will brighten your day.
Teen hanging from a power line fears she's done, but here's the story of how she survived. Written by Julie Provost, read by Julie Provost. Kennedy Littledike was 16 years old when her life changed forever after a harrowing car accident. In May of 2021, Kennedy and her two friends decided to get together one night, a couple of days after she had broken up with her boyfriend. The teenagers drove to a nearby mountain, parked the car at the base, and hiked up to watch the sunset. As they started the drive home, Kennedy started to cry and ended up crashing the car into an electric pole. It was so abrupt, and then it happened so quickly. I started to go off the road on the left side, and I overcorrected too far, and I went off the road on the right side, and my side of the vehicle hit the power pole, and it flipped up sideways, and we started flipping and rolling, Kennedy told Inside Edition. The teens did not have their seatbelts on, and Life 360 clocked them at 58 miles per hour. Kennedy flew out of the vehicle and ended up on the power line. The power line pinched off the main artery in her leg, and the main artery in her arm was cauterized because the power line had electrocuted her. She was also drowning in her own blood. I didn't know what to do in that situation. I felt so helpless, Kennedy said. And I remembered that I started to cry, and I remember telling myself, like, if you cry, you are done. Like, this is the end for you. She also remembered a FaceTime call, even though she didn't have her phone. It was somewhere in the field at the time. She could see a phone and God calling her. On the screen, there was a picture of God reaching his hand through the water. She started hitting the accept button over and over. It was a beautiful illustration of God being there for her in her time of need. She reached out to him at that moment. Kennedy was left hanging on the power line, 30 feet in the air, for about an hour. She was very uncomfortable, but she didn't feel a ton of pain while she was up there. The first responders worked to free her, and they finally did. Her dad got to the scene and was told that she would not make it. But she did. She was flown to the University of Utah. I broke my femur, I broke my humerus bone, I broke my clavicle, and then I have a brachial plexus injury. My leg was shredded pretty bad from that wire, Kennedy shares. They were not able to save her leg. They at first tried to save as much as they could. After 21 surgeries, they had to cut it off at the bone. Kennedy's dad was the one to tell her about having to lose her leg. She asked him if her two friends lost a limb, and they had not. She then said, "I'm glad I'm the one that lost it, since I was driving." Kennedy was in the hospital for 7 weeks. While there, she was able to go from a bad mental health state to a positive one, even naming her stub and creating a dance for it. She was able to embrace her new normal, which isn't easy to do. She had to relearn so many things, such as how to stand to brush her teeth with one leg and put her hair in a ponytail. As she started her senior year, she also attended many different types of therapies. While the road to recovery was long, she persevered and is now at 19 in a good space. She enjoys sharing her life on social media and just got engaged to her boyfriend. She's made a career out of public speaking and would tell others going through something similar, "Don't feel bad for yourself. That's the worst thing you can do," Kennedy says. "I would go through this accident. I would go through the pain," she said. "I would go through it all again, just like to have that rewarding feeling and like I made a difference in someone's life." Heart-wrenching moment, little boy is reunited with family after falling into an underground pipe. Written by Heather Rickleman, read by Julie Provost. A heart-wrenching moment as a little boy named Bentley is reunited with his family after falling into an underground pipe. It was a beautiful sunny day to try walking in new shoes and enjoying the sunshine with his mom. Bentley's mom didn't know the danger that was about to unfold. She didn't know how God protected her son as he fell down a 12-foot deep pipe. On July 28th, in a dramatic turn of events, the hand of divine protection was evident as Bentley, a 14-month-old boy, was rescued from an underground pipe in Mound Ridge, Kansas. What could have been a tragic accident became proof of God's watchful care and the swift actions of brave first responders. As the Mound Ridge Police Department, MPD, arrived on the scene, they discovered Bentley trapped in a pipe. Despite the dire situation, Bentley was found upright and seemingly unharmed. a sight that brought a wave of relief. The incident unfolded with an emotional intensity captured in body camera footage. Bentley's cries echoed through the pipe, amplifying the urgency of his rescue. In these tense moments, the comforting presence of God was felt through the calm and assured responses of the first responders. "He's breathing, he's crying," which is a great thing, one responder said, a reassurance that reflected the faith and hope they clung to. The scene was a vivid reminder of divine protection as Bentley's cries were answered with a swift, compassionate action. Officer Ronnie Wagner, quick thinking, played a pivotal role in the rescue. Using a makeshift catch pole fashioned from PVC pipe and rope, he and his team managed to lift Bentley from the pipe in just 15 to 20 minutes. It was a moment where human ingenuity met divine providence. It illustrates how God guided their hands and hearts during this critical rescue. As Bentley was finally pulled from the pipe, the scene of him being embraced by his parents was nothing short of miraculous. The sight of Bentley's mother holding him close, caught on camera in the ambulance, was a tender moment that powerfully demonstrated just how much a mother loves and protects her children through God's grace and love. The MPD statement echoed the sentiment of gratitude for the human and divine effort that ensured Bentley's safety. "We are relieved to report the child, while understandably shaken, was unharmed and is once again safe," they said. "We extend our deepest gratitude to all the first responders for their swift and effective action, which transformed a dangerous situation into a successful rescue." In a touching Facebook update, the MPD highlighted the collective effort of the first responders. It praised the community's unity and the divine protection that guided them. The combined effort from all responding agencies made this incident run smoothly and ultimately successful. "We are very thankful for the tight-knit first responder community in Moundridge, and our relationships with each other help make calls like this successful," they wrote. This incident serves as a poignant reminder of God's ever-present hand. He watches us over in moments of uncertainty and guides us to help rescue and protect others. Bentley's miraculous rescue is a powerful story of faith. It shows us how God's protective watch over this little boy turned a potential tragedy into a story of hope and divine intervention. Psalm 91:11. "For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways."
Thank you so much for listening to Story Behind Podcast. We're really glad you joined us for this week's story. To see photos and videos that may have been referenced in this episode, check out the links in the show notes. And if you enjoyed what you heard today, subscribe to our podcast, and please tell a friend about us. We'd also love it if you'd rate us and leave us a review. It really does help more people find us. Story Behind is a Salem Web Network production.